Let's just dive right into this explainer, 8th graders. Today, we're exploring a seriously fascinating math concept. But honestly, it's about so much more than that. We're going to see how mastering this math actually builds something way deeper: logical wisdom. We'll look at how just moving symbols and letters around on a page literally trains your brain to handle complex, messy situations in the real world.
So why start with a quote from Proverbs? Well, because understanding math isn't just about crunching numbers or, memorizing some heavy textbook. It's actually a powerful tool to train your brain. This verse reminds us to seek guidance and think flexibly. When we push ourselves to learn tough concepts, we're actively increasing our understanding and prepping our minds for the unexpected.
Here's our quick roadmap for today. We'll start with the quest for wisdom, move into unlocking literal equations, then cover the rules of isolation, solving real-world formulas, time to practice, and finally wrap up with smart minds, good choices. Section 1. The quest for wisdom. We're starting with the why because training your brain to think logically really honors God by building incredible clarity in how we approach problem solving. Think about it. Literal equations are absolutely everywhere. They're the backbone of science, the foundation of physics, the structure of geometry, and even the framework of business. In real life, and definitely in your future careers, you're almost never going to have all the information handed to you tied up in a neat little bow. You'll be missing pieces, but when you train your brain with literal equations, you develop this amazing flexibility to work with exactly what you have, manipulating the situation until you find the solution you need.
Section 2. Unlocking literal equations. Let's move on to the actual mechanics and see how this builds into our main math concept for today.
Okay, so the crucial point here is that a literal equation is simply an equation with more than one variable. Yep, that means multiple letters. So instead of doing a bunch of math and finding just a single number at the end, like x equals 5, you're actually rearranging a formula. You're solving for one specific variable in terms of the others.
Notice the total contrast here. In a regular equation like 2x plus 3 equals 9, we solve it and get a nice, neat little number. We love that. We're super comfortable with it. But in a literal equation, like area equals length times width, well, if you solve for width, your answer isn't going to be a simple number like 4. Your answer will still have letters in it. And I want you to hear this loud and clear. That is absolutely what's supposed to happen. Don't let the alphabet soup intimidate you. Those letters are just placeholders waiting to be organized.
Section 3. The rules of isolation. To successfully solve these and organize all those letters, we need a reliable toolset for our brains.
The good news? You don't need to learn a whole new kind of math today. You just need to follow these 3 logical steps every single time. Step 1, use inverse operations. If you see multiplication, use division. If you see addition, use subtraction. Step 2, keep the equation balanced. Treat it exactly like a perfectly balanced scale. Whatever you do to one side, you absolutely have to do to the other. And step 3, isolate the variable you're solving for. Basically, get that specific letter all by itself on one side of the equal sign.
Section 4. Solving real-world formulas. All right, we've talked theory. Now it's time to actually put it into action. Let's tackle some real formulas together.
Let's look at a true classic, the distance formula. Distance equals rate times time, or d equals RT. Now, what if we know the distance and the time, but we need to find the rate? Step 1, identify the variable we want. We want r all by itself. Right now, it's being multiplied by t. So, on to step 2. We use the inverse of multiplication, which is division. We divide the right side by t, and to keep our scale perfectly balanced, we divide the left side by t. The t's cancel out on the right, leaving r completely isolated. Boom! Our new perfectly valid formula is r equals d divided by t.
Let's try another one. Area of a rectangle is area equals length times width, or A equals LW. Let's say we want to solve for W. Notice how this is the exact same logical pattern as the last one. Because W is being multiplied by L, the inverse is division. We just divide both sides by L to keep it balanced. The L's cancel on the right, and we're left with W equals A divided by L. See? You're literally just rearranging the furniture in the room using the rules of logic.
Okay, now this one looks a little tricky, but don't panic. The area of a triangle is A equals 1/2 times base times height. We want to isolate the height, h. First things first, let's get rid of that fraction. What's the inverse of multiplying by 1/2? Well, it's multiplying by 2. So we multiply both sides by 2. giving us 2a equals bh. Way cleaner, right? Now, since h is being multiplied by b, we simply divide both sides by b. The b's cancel out, and we are left with h equals 2a divided by b. Just beautiful, step-by-step logic.
Section 5. Time to practice. You've got the tools, you've seen the logic, and we've done it together. Now it's time for you to flex those mental muscles on your own.
Here are 5 practice problems for you. We've got the circumference of a circle, volume of a prism, area of a parallelogram, perimeter of a rectangle, and, of course, our old friend, the distance formula. For each one, look for the variable you need to solve for. Identify it, use your inverse operations, and keep that equation balanced. Take your time, trust the logical steps we just walked through, and remember, it is completely fine if your answer is full of letters.
Section 6. Smart minds, good choices. Let's zoom back out to the big picture of why we're really training our minds this way today.
We've spent all this time sharpening our logical reasoning. But here's a really foundational philosophy to consider. What is the point of being incredibly smart and highly educated if we just continue making bad choices that hurt ourselves and the people around us? True success only happens when we pair our hard-earned education with strong morality. When we just have raw intelligence without a moral compass to guide it, honestly, things usually just end up broken.
Romans chapter 8 offers this profound promise. It tells us that focusing our minds spiritually brings peace. Think about how insanely satisfying it feels when you perfectly balance an equation and isolate that variable. Everything just clicks into place. Well, when we combine the logical thinking we learned today with a spiritually grounded mind, the ultimate result we experience in life is that exact same sense of balance and deep peace.
So I want to leave you with this question. You now know exactly how to tackle a complex, literal equation, confidently solving for any variable that comes your way. But how are you going to take this mental flexibility, combine it with a strong moral compass, and use that logical wisdom to make peaceful, right choices in your life today? Take that thought with you, keep practicing your math, and go make some incredibly wise choices.